You didn't get a sermon last week, but this week, you're getting your money's worth. How y'all doing today? My name is Ryan, and this is Down to Business Reviews. This week for Movie Club, we watched Saved, directed by Brian Dannelly and starring Mandy Moore, Jena Malone, Macaulay Culkin, Patrick Fugit, and Eva Amurri. Saved is about a young Christian girl named Mary who gets pregnant in her senior year at her Christian high school, and the consequences of that action. From a technical standpoint, Saved isn't a terrible movie, but it's not particularly astounding either. Patrick Fugit plays the son of the pastor in this movie, and he was really great in Almost Famous, and his character is really great in this film too. He did a pretty good job. He's maybe the best actor in the movie. Mandy Moore plays a girl named Hillary, and she really sells the crazy, hardcore, right-wing Christian whoa. And Macaulay Culkin delivers a pretty solid performance as Hillary's brother, Roland, who is bound to a wheelchair. Saved was really interesting and really thought-provoking for me, because here's where I'm coming from. This is my confession. I am a born-again, Bible-believing, Jesus-loving, unapologetic Christian. There are fundamentalist right-wingers out there, and there are loosey-goosey liberals out there too. Both sides exist, and they are both impeccable at misrepresenting Christ to the world. And just for the record, I'm not claiming to be a great shining example myself. I'm just putting it out there that this is where I'm coming from. I think a lot of people might go into a movie like this, expecting to be offended, and then they're just looking for the tiniest thing to set them off, and I didn't go into it with that mindset. I didn't go into it looking to be offended, and I wasn't. It was really just more thought-provoking, and let me explain why. Now, I'm not a seasoned apologist, but I'm giving it a shot, so buckle up, here we go. Clearly, somebody writing this movie had a really bad experience with a church or a group of Christians at one time. And can I just point out that most of the Christians in this movie have terrible theology. But it's pretty obvious that someone writing the movie got burned by a church that didn't understand loving their neighbor, and this movie is the result. Mandy Moore plays this girl, Hillary, and she's like the fundamentalist, right-wing, Bible-thumping archetype crazy girl. Hillary represents the religious spirit, and she's presented in the movie as the antagonist, and can I tell you something? That's right. She is full of self-righteous pride, and that's like the worst sin of all. That was like Lucifer's sin. Lucifer equals Satan, by the way. Can I just point out that the religious establishment of Jesus' time despised him because he didn't fit into the mold of their, religious legalism. And they killed him for it. Jena Malone plays Mary, the protagonist of the film, who finds herself pregnant because of a very stupid mistake. You have to be very dumb. Let's not kid ourselves. To find yourself in that situation, you have to be very stupid. Her reasoning for sleeping with her boyfriend is absolutely ludicrous, but whatever. The point is, she becomes an outcast in her society because of a mistake she made. She becomes an outcast, shunned by the religious people of her school, and actually finds comfort among the outcasts, the cripples, and the promiscuous. She becomes someone that, back in the day, Jesus was friends with. One of the reasons the religious people of Jesus' day hated him so much is because he associated with drunks and prostitutes and thieves and tax collectors, the lowest of the low. He didn't just associate with them, he was friends with them. They liked him, and he liked them. All that to say is that at this high school, in this movie, Jesus would have been an outcast. I want to dig into some apologetics here and say that, religion, the, pass-or-fail religion, is actually the enemy to Christianity. Religion is about what you do to appease God. It's checking off the list on the good side and not doing the things on the bad side. It is Hillary's way of life in this film. It's doing the good things, not doing the bad things, checking off things on the list and trying to impress God. That is religion, and it flies in the face of what actual Christianity is all about. Not about what we do, but what Christ did for us. They are opposing worldviews. I watched this movie last night, and I didn't write anything down. I just kind of wanted to sleep on it to process it, and I actually, was dreaming about it, and then I woke up, and I wrote this down. I wrote, Mary should just be happy that she's having a child. It's unfortunate circumstances. Should she have been having sex before she was married? Technically, no, but God can still use that for good. Children are a blessing, something I'm about to experience firsthand, by the way. I'm a big daddy. Saved is a thought-provoking study on the dangers of religious pride and what it actually means to love your neighbor. What would Jesus do? Well, the movie doesn't really answer that question, but maybe it can lead you to a place of finding out the answers yourself. Saved gets a score of 6 out of 10. If you have any interest in learning about apologetics or, Christian spirituality, I have a couple of recommendations. There is a movie on Netflix that is also based on an incredible book called Blue Like Jazz by Donald Miller. I recommend, watching the movie or reading the book. I just happen to have them here. Blue Like Jazz, Donald Miller. There's another book called The Reason for God by Tim Keller, which is very good on the subject, answers a lot of questions that people have about Christian spirituality. And finally, a book called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, it's really old and kind of heady, but it's absolutely incredible. So if you're interested in those at all, give them a read. There's a lot that I can say, but really, if you want true answers, just go to the source. Marks of a True Christian, from Romans 12. Says, "Let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil, hold fast to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not be slothful in zeal, be fervent in spirit, serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, and constant in prayer. Contribute to the needs of the saints, and seek to show hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless them, do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another, do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, 'Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord.' To the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For by doing so you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Thanks so much for watching this week, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked anything that I was rambling on about. I know this was an intense one. I'm sorry I got so into it. But I had to speak up. I came from a place of where I could really, download some information for you guys, and I'm glad you stuck with me. That said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Sup, editors? No one ever says thanks for what you guys do. I just want to say, thanks. You guys do a good job putting this thing together.